Dairy farming is tough work. In Ohio, as in most states, the number of dairy farms is decreasing. But an enterprising farm family in Wayne County has never paid much attention to trends. Convinced they had a first-rate product, they moved forward, and the Hartzler family dairy was born on a cold January day.
We all got together on New Year's Day on '91, and my son Joe says, let's bottle our own milk. And of course I had this in my head for maybe 10 years to do it myself, but I never got it done. And so when they decided to do it, why, let's go ahead and do it. But we got in a good time, because now you can't hardly find any of this used equipment. We got into the bottom of that and bought our equipment less than 10 cents on the dollar, and hey, that helped us out a lot to get started. There was a lot of dairies going out of the business, in that time. We didn't know if it was going to work. We figured we had a good product, a different product, but we didn't know how good it was. But we was going to be a little bit different than the other dairies, so we thought maybe it would go. So it has, sure has.
The Hartzlers have a unique advantage. Their product is different. It's a difference you can taste, but there's also a difference you can see.
I think Hartzler's milk tastes different. We have a lot of people who remember when the milkman delivered milk to their doorstep. It's sort of similar to that. We use the same types of machines to process our milk, and it has an old-fashioned, real sweet flavor to it.
We don't homogenize it. Cream comes to the top like it should, which we think is the better way to go. It's more natural.
We do pasteurization, which is the heating of the milk, which is required by law.
We don't heat it as hot. We only heat it to 145 degrees.
The way we pasteurize is a low-temperature pasteurization. We try and leave as much of the good stuff in it as possible. So the low pasteurization is very important. We have chosen to make our milk as natural as possible, eliminating any process that does not need to be done.
And it's not just the processing. The packaging is also a bit unusual.
We bottle in glass only. That does keep a real pure flavor, a real pure milk flavor, and keeps the milk colder longer.
The milk wouldn't pick up any flavor from the carton or from the glass, and we just think it's a better way to do it. We have whole milk, 2%, skim milk, and chocolate.
We do produce a 5-gallon bag, and those are for our food service customers. Those would include Oberlin College, Case Western Reserve, and we're talking with some hospitals locally and around the state.
There are many different ways to farm. The Hartzlers choose not to use chemicals or hormones, and that puts them in a niche market that's rapidly growing.
We have around 100 stores in the state of Ohio that carry our product, and that would be the milk and the butter. The ice cream is available only at Hartzler Family Dairy and Ice Cream Shop in Wooster, Ohio.
With mainstream giants like Walmart planning to double their sales of organic products, you might think the Hartzlers are just following a trend. But Harold Hartzler is an original, not a trend follower.
Well, I started farming on this farm in 1952, but I've farmed all my life. We've been farming without chemicals since 1964. The earthworms are the greatest soil builders there is. When they go through the soil, they don't push the ground aside, they eat it. And then when they get up on top of the ground, they deposit this castings on the top of the soil, and that has 5 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than the original soil he ate. Plus the trace elements are all greater too. And if you have 12 earthworms per cubic foot of soil, they can make up to 12 tons of that kind of fertilizer per acre per year. And they work for you day and night free of charge. Now, you can't beat that.
Life begins in the soil is a phrase that my father uses pretty often. He just believes that there are so many organisms and life in the soil that if we take care of the soil, it's able to produce really great product for us and for our cows.
I was a quack. I mean, you talk to the neighbors and, oh, you can't do this. I mean, I was told, I don't know how many times, you can't do this.
Today, no one is calling Harold Hartzler a quack.
My dad and my brother Joe are consultants with Ohio State University. They are helping to come up with a curriculum for young farmers to learn how to farm organically. And they also consult with the Research and Development Center here in Wooster. And they are just an invaluable source of information for them. Within our ice cream shop, we do offer a lot of local products. We have locally grown hydroponic lettuce. We have Greenfield Eggs, which is an Amish-based company. So we really believe in the local community as far as farming. If we don't support our local agriculture, we may not have it. It really is in jeopardy, the small family farms. It's hard to farm, you know, to make a good living on that. And so we really want to support what we have.